What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded. It is December 1st, 2025. We're almost to the end of the year. It is the first Monday after Thanksgiving. I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I hope you took some time away from these charts because, trust me, it feels really, really good to shut off that inner degen that's what grips us traders every day. It gets us in trouble all the time. But to break completely away from the charts for, in my case, a full week was very, very soothing. However, alongside doing that, coming back into the markets today, I was a little hesitant, if you will. Feel like I had lost my bearings a little bit, but we found some setups, we found some trades. The market's acting a little bit crazy today, but if you trust the charts and ignore your feelings, which is very difficult to do, you could have made some money today, and we'll show you some trades that we pointed out before they were trades worth taking. With that said, buy my book. It's right here. I know I'm not been making videos very often, but when I do make them, I'm going to remind you to buy the book because I'm assuming you're watching these to learn how to do it, and there is no better source to learn how to do it than that book right there. Unless you watch all of my videos or you're a member of my Discord, which I would invite you to join up and try as well. First week is completely free. If you like it, stay. If you don't, still stay. Just don't pay. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into the charts and see what we found. Now, leading into the open this morning, the markets were pretty red. In fact, everything in the top 10 was red. It just wasn't happy. We gapped down overnight. And I don't know, the market wasn't happy, is what it is. But with that said, I also believed that I was going to be taking the put scenario. Our put line was at 613.21. Our call line was 614.04. Now, the put line was what I was targeting, right? We had put in a lower high just before the market opened, so I was prepared for puts. But what didn't happen is the market was like, yeah, we're not going down. Now, in a way, this was good. It was good in the fact that because I haven't seen a chart in over a week, I haven't taken any trades in over a week until today, and I expected something to happen that the exact opposite happened, it made me a little bit more hesitant. It forced me to be patient. And in that patience came because of a gigantic green candle when I expected a red candle. We never came close to the put line on the opening candle, so I didn't jump into puts. And then we got a huge red candle. However, you look over here at ADD, and it was printing green for a good long time. I think till about 10 o'clock this morning before it started to take a breather. This was very unnerving if you were wanting to play puts, and it should be. Okay, so after we came back down, we did breach the put line. But again, this is a situation where you would have taken that put if you have a put bias. Now, I'm not going to lie and say I didn't feel like I wanted to play puts. I did. I explained this leading into the open. I explained it after we opened. I said, guys, I don't really feel good about calls because of how much red is in the top 10. But at the same time, I don't like that ADD is on a damn rocket ship going up when I'm trying to play puts. Now, under normal circumstances, when you have Qs on a support and SPY on a support and ADD printing green, that's definitely not a time we would like to consider puts, right? Now, just because I didn't feel comfortable buying calls doesn't mean you should be buying puts instead. And that goes for you too. If you don't feel comfortable buying calls at a time where we're on support on both charts and ADD is pushing up, then do nothing, which is what I chose to do. Okay? Once we got through this resistance and we made it to our call line, which is at 614.04, we were looking for the first orange line up from there. And we didn't make it on the first one, but after we bottomed out, hit support, we saw a bunch of green on ADD. We definitely made it up on the second one. Now, I wouldn't have even gotten in here on the second one because of the resistance we had created. just a few minutes before. However, once we busted through and pulled back, I said out loud in front of God and everybody, and more importantly, the 200 plus people in our room that are listening to me every day, this is a higher low and ADD's printing green. This is more likely to break this resistance and head up from here. Now, I was already wanting to play puts, so I did not take this trade. Okay, I admitted at this point I must have a put bias. I'm watching ADD continue to move up. I'm watching higher lows, and I'm doing nothing about it, i.e. I'm not playing calls. But we did call this one out. We called it out at 9:35. You get in at 9:36. You expect to break resistance and at least head up to the next resistance. It did all that. One candle later, if we close above that resistance, we target the next resistance. It did that. One candle later, and that's where it stopped. That's where it stopped moving up. Now, normally we would have a Jimmy trade setup. Now, a Jimmy trade setup means we break the uptrend, okay, which at this time we did, and you take out the most recent support, which would have been right here. So we broke the uptrend and we took out support. The only problem here was ADD was still on a rocket ship. So I wasn't going to take that risk at that point. However, my patience was wearing thin. I'd just taken a week off. I was tired of looking at the charts. I felt like I was missing out moves. Call it FOMO, call it what you want. We rejected here. SPY was rejecting. Didn't quite make it to a line of resistance. That doesn't really matter much to me. We broke support. And then I saw a big red candle. And then this candle started to print. It was on this candle right here that I said, I'm going to take puts. And I said it because I was anticipating breaking this support, put a big seller's wick on top of this. I didn't get in at the top, got in shortly after. We were hoping to break this support and head down to the next support, which was at the time, this blue line. I'm sorry. Yeah, we wanted to get from, where did I have the alert? I had an alert set there. We crossed it right here. I don't know why it doesn't show me the line. Anyway, we were hoping to get from there down to the orange line. That's what it was. So I got into this. Wasn't a huge win. This one here was a 13.12% win. Good enough for me. But again, the important part for me to explain to everybody was, yes, I ignored ADD. Yes, I became impatient. Yes, I had a put bias. This big red candle, this big wicky candle had me feeling comfortable enough to be willing to take the risk at that point. Okay, so we broke the uptrend. We took out one support. We were taking out a second support. Was hoping to break the third support, head down to the fourth support. We got there. We pushed down a little bit farther. As we were breaking that, I put a mechanical stop in. We tried to get down to the next line. It pulled back, stopped me out. 13.12% win. Not a huge one, but good enough for the girls I go with. Now, we did bounce off of what was not a support level, I don't think. Oh, no, it was support right here that we put in pre-market. And lo and behold, we broke the downtrend and we continued up. But I wasn't sold on calls yet again, not because ADD wasn't telling me we shouldn't be considering it, but we had broken the downtrend, so puts come off the table. We got up to resistance. Okay, it held. We pulled back. Now, what is this? This is what we like to call a higher low. Higher lows, and I said this one out loud as well, are not good for puts. So if you're considering buying puts at this resistance, I wouldn't do it for several reasons. Number one, ADD is still tearing to the upside. Number two, we're coming off of a higher low. And therefore, I do believe we're going to break this resistance this time and continue up to the next resistance as a result. You could have gotten in here as early as this point, or you could have said, well, look, here's another higher low, which I called out again. We get in here, we're expecting to break the pink line and continue up from that point. This was a clear, concise call out. If you're in the room, you know I say these things all the time. I even ask. I did say that because sometimes I lose my mind and I forget if I actually say what I'm thinking. And concurrently across the board, everybody's like, yep, you absolutely called that out. Well, here it is. Okay, we don't know where these moves are going to stop. That's not what we're learning to do. You should be learning how to justify getting into a trade and what you need to see in order to pick a direction that you want to play. Higher lows are good for calls. And then it comes down to breaking resistances and heading to the next resistance. Now, I've got about 4 minutes before I have to pick up my kid from school. So we're going to get through this next one really quick. We chopped around sideways a little bit here. We started to put in lower highs on Qs, ADD, and here's the key, started to turn around and head south. Lower highs on Qs, lower highs on SPY, just kept going. Called it out right here. Said, guys, this is a resistance and it's a lower high. We're more likely to continue down from here, and down we went. Here was the next support we were aiming for. And then from there, we were hoping to get all the way down to this alert, which hasn't been touched yet. It might get there eventually. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, slowly but surely. We still got a long ways to go. But at any rate, that was the last trade we decided to take. We did follow up and find that we broke the downtrend, right? So we say at this point, guys, puts come off the table. What do we need to see to justify calls? Well, we want to take out a resistance, and as long as that resistance is got room to go to the next resistance, which in this case it didn't, we're aiming for that move. Now, what we didn't get here was a higher low. So you could wait and say, well, I want to see if this thing takes a breather. You got your higher lows in here or here, built a support area there, and of course it bounces up. I don't know what caused it to go up so dramatically, but it did. Ever since that point, we melted up, and now we are melting back down. So with that said, I don't know why I keep saying that, but at any rate, guys, I'm going to wrap it up because, well, I got nothing else to share with you, and that's what we did for today. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to join our Discord community, well, we'd love to have you. There are links down below. And of course, if you'd like to buy my book so I can make $3 whole, and a week later, I'll be able to buy myself lunch. You can get it right here. This is what it looks like. And you can find it on Amazon. The links are always down below. I hope you all had a great holiday. And I hope you made some money today. Till the next one. I love you guys. See you.